Welcome, everybody, to episode 212. I forgot to take ThankMeLater off the screen for the introduction. We had a lively pre-show that I wish you could have been a part of, but we'll definitely get into it more and see where it ends up. Miami was released. It was pretty cool. We'll talk about it. Also, it was pretty expensive. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
The UPX Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and ThankMeLater. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland property experts, baby, UPX.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 212 of the Upland Property Experts Podcast. I'm your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, joined by ThankMeLater. How we doing, brother?
What up? Doing good.
What's with the blue Christmas tree?
Oh, so today I'm getting prepped for a Comic-Con convention, anime, comic, I guess it's technically an anime convention this weekend. So I am currently in role play for one of the characters for this weekend. And if you are the first to comment on the video with which character I am from which show.
A dead tree hugger from a grade B science show.
No. Then I will give you a test tube statue. So there you go. No, he's not a truck driver. So there you go. Name that cosplay. I might cosplay for the next couple shows.
Oh, you know what we haven't done in like a very long time?
Dude, the movie quotes.
The movie where we where we Upland-fied movie scripts. Those were fun.
God, those were so fun. Is it a cartoon? It is a cartoon, yes.
Yeah, those were so fun. Do miss that.
We had to bring that back.
Yeah, I'll figure that out in my spare time.
Yeah, just add that to the
just add that to the list.
Wait. First, somebody put it in the name of a movie you'd like us to do an Upland riff off of.
Yeah. Let us.
Yeah, are we covering fantasy football anymore? I don't know. After two stupid just absolutely has done terrible. Then Gladiator. All right, bet. Add that.
All right, Gladiator.
We'll do a parody. We'll do an Upland themed parody of Gladiator for the one and only legendary Shacklin.
All right, we'll get that rolling. I'll figure that out. All right. Also, we have a lot going on. It's the first week of December 7th, 2023. And that means we'll give you how November sales went overall in the secondary market in Upland. Pretty interesting. Now they're rolling in. Dumb and Dumber, Beavis and Butthead. We'll start making lists. We'll keep rolling with that. Can you capture that? Big Norm said Dumb and Dumber, and JMS said Beavis and Butthead. So we'll get those going. Oh, Smokey and the Bandit. All right, we'll get this going.
Good job, Zany got it.
Zany got it. Dipper Pines.
If you haven't watched it, Gravity Falls. You can catch it on Disney Plus. It's fantastic.
There you go.
Seasons, but really, really good show.
Yeah. So secondary market, we got that covered. How November performed. Talk about that, and then we'll talk about how it performed over the last week. Plus the Miami launch, which was totally different than what we've seen before, added some cool new elements to it. And depending on where you were buying in Miami, you thought, hey, Miami's not too bad, or oh my God, this is super expensive. It was more of the have and the have nots, and some interesting discussions pre-show about what really matters now for tier wise of a city. And we'll jump into that, and we might have some guests.
No, I'll clarify. It was more Too Stupid to Win doesn't know how to read. And that's really what that was. It really wasn't.
Stupid to Win knows how to read. It's just that there's conflicting information.
There's not conflict. There's no conflict.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There's not.
Okay, so treasure
Only in your
hunting's
brain.
the only thing that matters. Treasure hunting's the only thing that matters. Got it.
No.
Got it.
Y'all.
All right. Anyway, we'll jump right into it. And as you can see, this will be a fun conversation coming up here shortly. Absolutely. Let's see here.
Oh, you were. Oh, that's yes.
Where'd you go?
You boot.
There you are. I didn't boot you.
Jeez.
I didn't boot you. What did you do?
Yeah, well, I think I hit refresh.
Nice.
I got all happy. That was you.
That was me. That was me. I just had to have a little fun. All right, market update, December 7th, 2023. Top 10 city floors. Miami is released and makes number 10 for the week.
11,000 floor for Miami.
Yeah.
What's the markup on those? Is it selling under mint yet? Buy some Miami under mint. What's up?
I haven't looked yet. I have not looked yet.
Rutherford creeping back up there.
Yeah, Rutherford creeping back up.
No, city. Yeah. Sorry, it's my brain wasn't actually. I wasn't actually expecting anyone to know it. City boy. Yeah. No. Solid reference.
Yeah. I guess I haven't seen it, so good.
No, it's good.
Rutherford creeping back up, as you said, U.S. dollar and on the Upex side of the house. Berlin falling, Tokyo falling, down 15%. Floor is 16,000 right now. London down to 15,000. Getting close to Arlington and Dallas territory there.
That's very interesting. I mean, again, we've always talked about. I mean, Arlington and Dallas have continued to be pretty solid. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of hard to see Tokyo and Berlin kind of dropping down like that. But hey, I'm okay. I'm liking that San Francisco's top 4. So
it's working its way back up there.
Yeah, staying strong.
Absolutely. Now looking at November 2023, looking at the overall Upex sales for the month. London, I mean, I know they had the expansion, but geez, the secondary sales 170 million there.
That's wild. I had no idea so much activity was happening in London.
Yeah, they had a little over 4,000 sales on the Upex side of the house, and the average sale was 40,771 there. Los Angeles still holds pretty strong. Detroit with the burners still holding pretty strong in there, 50 million worth of secondary sales in Upex. Anything jump out?
London. Shaq is saying London had a big sell-off when they dropped the TH tier.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. What I love is that LA is still going strong. I love that. I love that LA's got 3,400 secondary sales. Like, that's fantastic. They're consistently performing. Queens sitting at 3,700 secondary sales is pretty interesting. Again, I don't count like Detroit and stuff just because, again, burners, like that's where, like, to me, those numbers are always going to be a bit skewed, which is fine. I think it's important. That shows still strong secondary activity. But yeah. And then Manhattan's average cost is just nuts.
With their 178 sales, but yet 178 sales and 24 million in Upex.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that really speaks to the fact, like, if you're trying to flip things, like buying floor of Manhattan and trying to flip it is probably going to be a much harder proposition. For sure. Yeah, London was a great spot for treasure hunting, and that's why they had to nerf it, because I think it was too great.
Yeah.
Oh, Queens is now good for treasure hunting. Yeah.
And Queens was also added, or some parts of Queens were added to the Upland Kingdoms too. I know, and I think that happened in November also. So you saw some transactions
There
there.
you go.
And if you want to look at the U.S. dollar sales,
Always.
absolutely. Los Angeles still standing strong with 41,000. London leading the pack with 54,000 in sales.
There we go. It seems kind of low. I mean, I guess it makes sense. LA though, 2,500 USD transactions. I mean, that's awesome. Although it is interesting to see the average Manhattan USD price is what, almost a third of what its Upex price is. Although I guess LA, wait, can you go back? What was LA's average Upex price? Oh, 24. Yeah. So is that the largest difference? Is Manhattan between
I think
average
so.
and because London's 40, Tokyo's 50, San Fran's 35. Okay, so then go to the next. What's our USD? 27. Yeah, that's not that much lower. LA's half, and San Fran is not quite. Yeah. So I mean, not necessarily surprising there. It is interesting. I mean, because what Disney was buying properties, what was mint in, like, you could still mint under 10,000, right?
I haven't checked lately what the mint price was, but you are right. Los Angeles is down overall in sales in UPX and US dollar this month compared to last month.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because I was gonna say that the US dollar sales seems relatively low. I'm trying to think, was there major USD sales, like primary sales of I guess, was there 2 totem releases in November? We had multiple totem releases, we had multiple
Stock Car Pro Series sales. But it's also, a big holiday time and you're getting closer to Christmas time too. Maybe
That's fair.
people are cutting back there too.
It's actually a really good point. I didn't really think about that because you're right, and people might be trying to liquidate a little bit as well. So we're seeing that. Let's see, Shack Attack says the SFUSD floor of $8.99 has been on the market for 2 months as the player is in Alcatraz. Oh, we need to update that. The next floor was $8.09. Okay, well, so pretty close, but that's good to know. Thank you for that information, Jack.
I'll double check. I'll work, see if there's a way to filter that.
Yeah.
And then looking just at neighborhoods, what were the hottest neighborhoods in the month of November? Here's your top 10 neighborhoods in UPX sales where you had the most value going, the most UPX sold.
Interest. Again, I think the call out of the sell-off of London with the kind of the teardrop,
yes,
makes sense.
Yeah, considering 8 out of the 10 are London neighborhoods.
Right. Like that's quite telling. But
yeah. And then if you
but you know what you don't see on there is, I was trying to think of what's our Knights. Oh gosh,
Knightsbridge.
Knightsbridge. It's got like 7 names. It's like,
right.
Like how many times has that neighborhood been divorced? And but you know what? That's not on there because those, I still think like there's going to be those neighborhoods that are much stronger, and you're not going to see the same level of sell-off in a scenario like that because those are much bigger strongholds. So it is interesting to see which neighborhoods have quote unquote fire sales. To me, those would also be ones that I would be more hesitant to get into from a like a node perspective.
Yeah. They're looking at US dollar sales. Once again, London's leading the way with just over 9,000, and Campton and Jingume in Tokyo still up there leading the pack with at $8,600 in US dollar sales.
California Trading Company wants to know, why didn't Tokyo sell off like London? And I would have to, what was the treasure hunting?
They dropped down tiers also. They both got nerfed.
But I don't know, like from what I understood, like London, the treasure hunting in London was chef's kiss.
Yes.
I don't know what it was like in Tokyo.
And I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just people were preferring London. Maybe it was easier to get the spread. Tokyo is sold out? I don't think
Tokyo is sold out.
Yep. Tokyo is sold out? London's
yes.
not. Is it?
London is not, because they did the expansion.
Yeah.
They were getting close to selling out. They did an expansion there, so.
Well, and that might be another reason for why Tokyo didn't have the same fire sale. Because a sold out city is traditionally not going to have a fire sale. It'd be like weird, I think. Rutherford's never had a fire sale as much. It's just kind of like Gone Hill.
Okay.
No Tokyo expansion, so treasure hunt still okay. Yeah, but also the teardrop. So the kind of speculation was, because of the change in how treasure hunting works, that because it dropped all those tiers, that would have been a prime reason for London to have the sell-off. Tokyo had the same drop. I just don't think the treasure hunting was as hot there, and being sold out. I'm not fire selling a property in a sold out city.
No.
Like I'll put it for sale, but I'm not going to like undercut myself dramatically, where like London, I can mint new property, right? That's a difficulty thing. You're always going to be competing with mint until a city sells out.
Yep.
To some degree.
Yeah.
Usane, what up?
All right. Looking at overall sales and transactions. So this month, you can see the US dollar just did just shy of $240,000 in secondary sales, with an average price of $19.09, with total sales of $13,461. If you compare it to last month, definitely the Upex sales is down. Last month in October, 298.
Upex sales is up.
Sorry, I was talking I was reading US dollar numbers, talking Upex backwards. Upex sales was up. So US dollars is what I was talking about at first. And thank you for the correction.
Yep.
US dollar sales is down. Last month it was just under 300,000. Average sale price was $24.44. But the total sales were up this month, just smaller transactions. Over 1,000 more sales in US dollars this month in Upland.
Which again, I think speaks to both the potential like London sellout, as well as just the potential holiday liquidation. I think that makes sense, that there would be a seasonal liquidation. The holidays are coming up. People are looking to get a little bit of extra cash in their pocket for the holiday season, selling some properties. It makes sense, that $20 mark. It makes sense to try and be under that too on average. So yeah, I mean, it is interesting. So more sales overall, just lower total value.
Yep. And for the Upex is up. The average sale price is down, but the total sales transactions overall was up for between the 2 months.
Yeah, I think about this, probably the same thing again. Definitely impacted by the London sellout.
Yes.
I really like these number sets. To me, being able to see month to month on a large scale like this does indicate like the health of the economy overall. I mean, when you think about it, that's about 900,000 in converted. If we just did a 1-to-1 conversion, it's about 900,000 in converted sales. I mean, even if we say 70% conversion, let's even say 50%. It's still over 500,000 in secondary sales.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we haven't looked at Dapp Radar in a while, but I am curious. We maybe pull that up at some point to see. I'm curious what other games are doing as far as volume for their secondary markets. Because again, I mean, just on the face of it, I mean, this is almost $1 million in secondary volume every month. Granted, the UPX value is probably at a 0.6 right now. What would you say? What do you think the current rate of UPX to USD would be secondary?
Hold on. I can tell. It was actually pretty interesting. Hold on, I'm just trying to find it in all the tabs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while you do that, Boulder says, since London is not sold out, I sold some of my Londons at 22 to 24,000 after I paid 30,000 in the expansion. So you sold under mint. Well, just out of curiosity, Boulder, because you're a longtime player and hodler of properties, I kind of thought. Is there a reason that you sold under mint? Was it to get liquid for Miami? Because to me, selling under mint is kind of I don't want to say a new player move, because I guess not a lot of people do it. If you think that if you need to liquidate to maybe make money on a new expansion, it's just kind of shocking. I didn't expect, like, when I think of the person who sells under mint, you're not the type of player that I would expect to actually sell for under mint, especially that quickly. So I'm curious if there was a reason for that.
Let's see here.
Have you ever sold under mint? Too stupid?
Oh
my God, you have to think about it.
Well, I haven't.
Dirty under mint seller, you.
I'm trying to call, other than some sort of deal we worked out for something else. No, I haven't sold under mint.
Okay.
I've always been above mint, and I have my settings above mint. Looks like the average for all the cities is above the floor price US dollar wise, and same with UPX wise.
Nice. Let us know in the comments. Are you one of those sell below mint people? And if so, why? Why are you so dirty?
And that's always been my curiosity of why.
So wait, did you pay $30K on the secondary market and then sell because you're like, oh, I don't want to sit on these? Never. Key says never. Diamond Hands Olsen over there. Never below mint UPX. Oh, that was a caveat, which means that somebody's selling under mint USD. I feel like that's almost dirtier. I get it. But that's some dirty, like, that's very like, oh, we're not on UPX, but for that filthy, filthy fiat, I see you. Never done, never will. Now I feel bad. Well, you talk about if a city isn't minting out, then you're competing with mint. Now you have people selling under mint all around, so you're competing with under mint. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just wouldn't sell for a loss, but I'm a long time holder. But I get it. If you're like, I need to take a 20% loss here because I want to get in a new city to make 2x, like, and you're able to flip it. It just seems like a risk. And that's not how I play. But
so looking at Dapp Radar, Upland's not transmitting any stats. I don't know if they changed something or have falling out with Dapp Radar.
Dapp Radar has always been IMO sketch. Throw it up. Let's see their nonsense. Let's see.
There's no transactions. There's nothing.
No, but I want to see for the other. I want to see the quote unquote competitor. So we're doing about somewhere between, say, 600 and 900,000 USD in sales. I mean, it does make sense. I'm just curious, like, who is doing it and why. Can we make it bigger? Let's see what nonsense they're pushing. I'm not a big fan of Dapp Radar because, again, like, the way that they get their Moto decks. Yeah, look at this. So 400,000. Like, wait, volume.
Here's your user wallet.
Oh.
Here's your volume.
Volume what's the time frame on that?
This is 7 days.
Give me a month. I want to see monthly. I want to see 30-day and then sort by volume.
But the volume is not what you think. That's I think they're way off on that, but okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So then these are like weird. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, because they're also probably talking like token and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But like, yeah, okay, never mind. This is all nonsense. Sandbox. Okay, wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Go back because Sandbox
Go
would
back.
probably be. But see, I say it's on tier with like Sandbox in a sense. I wanted to see some of the other stats on Sandbox. Glad I didn't spend the whole 600,000 I had. 5,000 users. Is that 5,000 users? 5,000 wallets?
Just about 6,000 users that interacted with their wallet in the last 30 days on Sandbox.
Gotcha. Do we have that stat for Upland?
No, Upland is blank. That's what I'm telling. There's
No, but I mean,
da-
like, yeah, no, I know not on Dapper, but on Anywhere, do we have user stats on? Does anybody know
Nope.
the active users on Upland?
Now it was around 100K interacting per month, but the way that Dapp Radar was using that is it just adds your 4 weeks. So each person, so hey, this day you had 30,000 people log in, this day you had 50,000, and it just kind of compiles it over the month. It's not like, hey, you know, some of your dormant players checked in once this week. It seems like it's a
Oh, like
you know,
cumulative instead of
yep,
unique.
yeah.
Weird.
And I think it's just unique for the day, and then they just kind of add it that way. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting to see again, just to compare. I mean, that's up. So 700,000, and that's according to that's up like 500%, which means that last month they did 200,000. Oh no, wait, that's not Sandbox. Wrong line. That's Benji Bananas. Jesus. Sweet economy. I can't even with some of this nonsense.
All right, let's get back to the real world.
All right, back to the real things. All right, what else?
All right. Oh, let's see here. There you are. And let's go back to presenting. All right. And hopefully next month I'll have even better stats and looking farther back, working on some stuff. I had some stuff drawn up to make sure we were legit with NDAs and stuff like that moving forward. But yeah, got something good working, so we'll be good.
Cool.
All right, 30-day change. I'm not sure what happened here, but anyway, looks like the floors were put on top of the 30-day change somehow. So moving on. It happens. All right. Here's the bottom 10 city floors in Upland. Not much change on the US dollar side. Buenos Aires is actually up 5%. The only one not at the $3 holler, $3.70. That's a great place to be able to come in and sell just under the US dollar floor if you're looking to cash out.
Welcome, Milderland. I'm glad you could join us for the third week in a row. What a champion.
That's dedication, and all the way over in Estonia.
Let's see. Detroit, Hyde Park Ninjas are saying Detroit's killing it. In what sense? wait.
The burner market?
Detroit's killing the floor? It's beating it dead? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Neighbors in Miami. Welcome to Miami.
All right, look at it sold out. Sao Paulo moved it to 93%. Los Angeles is finally getting close to that 80% mark.
Let's go.
And Miami 74% minted at the time of putting these together. So it's plus 74% for the week.
Nice. So Tokyo's sold out. Chicago's still sitting at that 99%.
It is.
Oh, dirty, dirty Chicago.
Miami is coming.
The faces on those llamas was
Creepy.
Jesus.
Yeah, the faces of the llama were creepy, but Miami is coming, and Miami was
No,
interesting.
Miami is here.
It is here. So it launched on Wednesday, December 6th. And, it's been a long time since there's been a city release in Upland that there was an issue with it, that they had to push it back for something, or, there were major just wheels of death of just waiting or glitchy properties. There's still some minor issues in the city releases, but nothing like it used to be.
Oh, you mean like Cleveland? No, your screen isn't frozen. It's too stupid. Remembering how fun the Cleveland release was.
Thanks for the troll.
Absolutely.
If I bring it up, you're like, why are you still complaining about it? But then you troll me with it. So it's great. So
100%. 100%.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know how many properties it is in Chicago. They're all like stupid high priced.
Chicago. You mean what's remaining in Chicago?
How many properties are left in Chicago? Like maybe I want to say like 1,200 or something.
Chicago has about 1,500 properties left.
Yeah, but it's like millions in mint.
No, they're not all millions in mint. But
no, the total is millions in mint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually you can get 100,000 Upex
They're all
properties.
6-figure plus at this point.
Yes, that's fair to say.
Yeah. No, I mean, shout out to the Miami release, because this was probably one of the flashiest city releases. I think it was the most cohesive branding across multiple not brands, assets, multiple sectors of Upland, right? Between the city release, the block explorers, the cars, the property passes, like the block explorers from both the store and for the block explorer vendors, which is something we've been saying needs to happen. And then adding a new burn mechanic,
They didn't even release the terminals ahead of time. They're like, we're releasing Miami, but we're not doing the terminals till afterwards.
They're like, doesn't even matter. Terminals, they'll sell. We don't even care. We're going to get out all this fire. And let's be honest, it doesn't surprise me. Anybody who's been around Upland long enough should know this is that year end, oh crap, we want to make sure that when we do the wrap up for the year, we have a bunch of really interesting stuff. So anything we can push out quickly, let's do it, which is, I'm not bad mouthing it, but it is not surprised, because now they can put it in their year end wrap up that they did a block explorer burn mechanic release, city pass release, all these things, block explorers for the block explorer shop, stuff like that. They get to add all that to their year end summary now.
I was just interested on the back end of it, because I had the same thoughts that it's the year end, maybe they, said that they were going to release X amount of cities, or, as you're saying, that they're going to release these new features this year, and they wanted to do it with a city release. But usually the terminals are pretty standard. And even though they announced it on a Sunday or whatever it was, even though they announced it with short notice to do it, December 4th was Sunday or Monday.
It was
Monday. So they announced it Monday that they were dropping it Wednesday. And I guess that is fair if they announce it on Monday, where people are a little more attentive because it's not the weekend, to say, hey, register now for train sales. People will be like, I missed the announcement. It's not fair. So I can see that point.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And, we talked about the quick time to launch to prevent secondary market crashes, right?
Right.
Because we have definitely seen that historically. If they make a big announcement weeks ahead of time, the secondary market just plummets aggressively as people liquidate. So I do like the kind of quick turnaround in that sense. So it's interesting to see how that plays out. Plus, given how expensive Miami ended up being, how many cities are we at now?
Yeah.
Only Kansas City. That's me. I love some Kansas City.
So they had the special Miami Block Explorer sale, which you got your.
Did not get in on at all. I was
Oh, I
so
was
far
outside
behind.
all of them, and you had the Lagoon Bliss, you had the Vice City Room, which is like a pin. To me, that's a pink El Camino, and then you had the Lush Boulevard Block Explorer. So those three pretty cool city-centric or city-themed block explorers. But then on top of that, they said, "Hey, Block Explorer shop owners, we got a deal for you," which I thought was really cool. Is they got 3 Block Explorers for $9, and I think that's how wholesaling to the Block Explorer shops should work. Because all the Block Explorers that were released here, yeah, there were 50 of each one that Upland released, and they put 300 bundles of 3 Block Explorers, which gives you 900 additional Block Explorers themed around Miami. And I like the ability to have the deal there, and I like that 305 chain and the neon Miami. They had some pretty cool Block Explorers there that they sold to the shops.
Yeah, I definitely like the wholesale concept. It makes a lot of sense. It makes me want to be a Block Explorer shop owner even more, honestly, because I love that idea of being able to wholesale buy the Block Explorers to then sell them on this. I would just keep them, but to sell them on the secondary. I mean,
Yeah.
Holder mentioned that he's between last Thursday and this Thursday, all the information came out, and he gets all the information from this podcast. Since he doesn't read announcements from Upland, preach. Well, would you read like a midweek, like a Sunday podcast? Like if we did a newsletter with like, hey, here's what's going on, and here's some other things. They give those things away. Yeah, again, I have 2 factories and a shop that I already neglect. I don't need a third, fourth.
Yeah. Now
the GTA. I don't think so. I think maybe. I mean, it is theme. I mean, look at the Miami logo, but
yeah. Now they had those horrible football jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Now they make these super cool Miami themed Block Explorers.
I mean, their hands are tied with the NFLPA.
Well, I get that, but no, that was soccer. That was soccer football.
Or soccer.
So I was being nice. You remember those wholesales, those 99 jerseys?
Oh no,
or were you off for that one?
Yeah, I was out for that.
Those were horrible. They were ugly. But I would love to see a burn mechanism with them. But now they made these cool ones right here that went to the Block Explorer shops, and you have to burn 2 of those with the other ones. If you come down here, these are part of the burn mechanisms. There's going to be 25 of each. That's if everybody uses the burns. You have to use 1 Miami sweetener and then 2 from any Miami shop owner, 2 of those Block Explorers to get you one of these.
Yeah, and then so is it random which of the 2 you get? Because like there's 2 variations of each, right?
Yes.
So it'll be random of the 2. This is such an interesting mechanic for a lot of reasons, right? Because now you have like if let's say for instance everybody decides to burn the little croissant pastry thing, right? Like if I look here, what are the ones like if I would burn the little suitcase thing, I would probably burn the coffee, I'd burn the croissant. Like I like the Miami.
Well, to be more clear, they're going to provide more details on how the burns will be performed, and so because there's a note under here saying it's crucial to burn the correct combinations to receive the upgraded Block Explorer, because if you do it incorrectly, combinations will permanently result in loss of your Block Explorers. So I think it's just not.
I'm going to call that right now. That's
hot mess.
Upland, you better figure out a way to do like a Hordix cube. What's the Diablo Hordrix cube? Like where I just put the 3 items in and it combines and then burns it. Like you cannot have people. I think it's a Cubano, the greatest sandwich of all time. All right, calm down there. But also, actually, you know what? The Cubano, which I think is a Cuban twist on a Reuben.
Yes.
It's a pressed sandwich. Those are actually delicious. So I'll give you that. But like the idea is, I mean, again, I don't think it's going to be like you have to do a car plus this Miami plus the Rubano to get this, right? Based on this, I think it's just a matter of if you burn the car plus the other, like one of the other sweeteners, and a shop owner one, then you're not going to get it, right?
So then
So
how do you make an incorrect combination then?
what I just said, what if I burn 2 sweeteners and a shop
Okay.
owner?
All right.
Or I
That
burn
makes sense.
3 shop owners, right? So
True.
I mistake one and I burn 3 shops and I don't get anything.
Okay.
There's definitely ways to mess that up, right? So, but let's assume everybody, you know, has their head on straight, which we know they don't. It will be really interesting to be watching the the total mints 50, whatever it is. And then as it goes down, like which ones, you know, there's going to be a scarcity. So all of a sudden the value, I really like a burn mechanic, especially with numbers that are this low. Usually when you see burn mechanics, like especially like in the wax market, you're talking in the thousands of items that are getting burned. So it's really difficult to see value for a long time. When we're talking 50,
yeah, I love the concept of the burn mechanic. I love the whole set of the Block Explorer shot, but I was just shocked on the low numbers, the quantity numbers.
I love it. I think that they're recognizing that they're like the secondary sales on these Block Explorers has been trash. When you mint 200 of a single Block Explorer, there's almost no value right now, especially without your driver mechanic. Like you're going to have a hard time selling me on a high mint, like Block Explorer of any kind of value over like 10,000 UPX. Like honestly, they just aren't worth it. But very quickly you get into, you know, low double digits, like sub 50 starts to get interesting, because from a long-term perspective as well, like those to me are more, I don't like the word investment, you know, I don't, but like more quote unquote investable would be the sub 50. Like you get into the 20s, things start getting interesting. I mean, I paid 220 for the Vivid, which was how many mints on that? 50 on that?
Yes.
Now, granted, that did have a very big value, secondary value to me in the badge and the unique item. So there is some initial, but I can see those being worth post snapshot still 100,000, I think.
Yeah.
Potentially. I don't know.
Yeah. It makes you really think. I mean,
oh, that's a good question, Zany. I traditionally no. I hope that they don't do that. First to burn is mint 1. Traditionally, because they will mint all of them. So they'll mint all 25 and then randomly disperse them. That's almost always how they've done it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of cool Block Explorers. I really love how they tied the Miami theme together, did this. I love the new burn mechanism. And then if that wasn't enough, they came through with the passes. They sold them for $4.99. There were 1,000 passes to it. And
$4.99. Oh, okay. I couldn't remember how much they were because people are buying them for like 20,000 UPX. But that doesn't get you a property. That just gets you the ability to buy a property. Is that correct?
So the passes are tradable, and with a snapshot scheduled for December 14th, so a week from today, they will be allocated a specific address in Miami for minting. You get a 15% chance that it will be part of a collection. And then you have about 4 days to the deadline to mint will be Monday, December 18th. After this, they will be released for public minting.
Do I still have to be there? Do I still have to be in Miami to mint it, presumably? I can't remote mint it.
They did not say.
Because that was the whole, I thought that was kind of like the benefit of the pass is like, hey, if you're not in Miami, don't worry about it, buy the pass. But traditionally, even if they lock it for you, You still have to
kind of got to be there.
Yeah, which it'd be cool if I didn't. But
Absolutely. So I'm
you
just
have to be in Miami. Shaq says you have to be in Miami, just like people have to fly to mint their lost property. Sure, that's fair.
because then those people would be mad.
Well, I mean, they can evolve. Like the mechanic can evolve, but that's fine.
Eh.
Don't be lazy, TML. I mean, that's fair.
True.
Facts. Fair enough.
Now the pass was, I like that they're using them passes for more and more stuff. And there was 1,550 players ahead of me. So I was like, great, I'm not going to get a pass. And then actually I was like, oh, I'm going to get a pass. And something came up at work and I'm like, oh, and I was like 6 minutes till I could mint. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to get one. There's like 450 something left. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not. I'm like, I'm going to get a pass. Something came up at work and I'm like, I forgot that my time's up. Luckily I logged back in and I was able to get a pass. And then as soon as I got a pass, it was like only a 30-second cool. It was a very short cooldown, which I thought was kind of strange. I was like, okay, I'll take it. So I must have been one of the last people, in queue that reserved it, because I had that quick cooldown. And as I was coming out of the cooldown, the prices just the number inventory just dropped. It was just like spinning down like crazy.
Yeah, no, same thing happened to me. I thought I had a bit of time. And then all of a sudden, like I was, the group chat, and I was like, wait, what? They're gone? Because I was definitely going to pick up a pass. But it's all right. Maybe I'll pick up. I mean, it sounds like I got a couple of days. If you're selling on the secondary market, I don't want to pay 20,000 because you still have to mint the property, yo.
Mm-hmm.
You get a 15% discount. Is that true? Is that what it is?
A 15% chance of it being a collection property.
15%. Oh, no discount.
No discount.
No.
And you get to keep the passes as a souvenir event too.
But what is the passes? A what? Just a burner at that point. They're useless. The previous ones you've had to turn in. Is that true?
Right.
I might buy some of the passes secondary, but for cheap. How much do you think? How much do you think there will be? What will be the secondary? So on December 15th, after they have zero value, what do you think? Like, do you think I'd be like me trying to
2,500 UPX?
25,000
UPX?
1,000 UPX? Yeah. I was trying to like pull out my Genesis week pass, be like, oh, sell my, be like that. Like it's absolutely useless. It just was, cool.
They didn't say the property size or the property value. And as we saw, the prices were affordable to what are you really thinking? And then on top of the passes, they have the Miami car giveaway.
Yeah, these are hot.
So every property you mint in Miami, you get entered to be one of the 25 people that get one of these cars.
Yeah.
So you have till Friday, December 22nd at noon to mint Miami properties for entry.
Wait, additionally, those who earn will be rewarded with 25. Oh yeah, I saw some of those people. They were posted on Facebook, which is super cool. Shout out to the Mint Master badges. I definitely want to get in on that.
You got to be in the, like, it's just your internet connection and everything's on spot to be the Mint Master in a new city release.
And you gotta have some thick wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, 85, even at, well, I guess if you got them at 20,000, Alexa, what's 85 times 20,000?
85 times 20,000 is 1,700,000.
That's not too bad. So like, because I mean, I was sitting on, well, I ended up, so shout out to, oh gosh, I forget, who did I buy that from? What's his name? It was in our chat. Anyway, and I bought an international plane terminal. You got a Mint Master badge? How much did you spend? How much did a Mint Master badge cost you? That's what I want to know.
Depends on the city. Matt Turbo.
Matt Turbo. Shout out to Matt Turbo. bought me. It was 110. He should have just told me that to begin with. International Turbo out of Buenos Aires, 1100. Okay, so yeah, man, that's awesome. Congrats. That I would have definitely spent that to get the Mint Master badge. Maybe the next.
Shouldn't have bought those expensive properties. Damn it.
I know. I'm definitely going to go for it next time. I think. How many people get the Mint Master? Not just one.
3.
3. Okay. I think I could get top 3. That reminds me of when they did what was the Mint competition in the stupid place, 109 properties. I think one of the people won with 85 properties. So you must have been like you were probably number 1 then. Because the person I saw on Facebook said that they got Mint Master with 85 minted.
Yeah, I spent most of my money right here.
Ooh, daddy.
And then I wanted 3 in the neighborhood, so I just grabbed the next cheapest ones I could find. But
jeez,
it was pretty pricey down there.
I was number 1. Get it, Wisdom. Yeah, you were. South Grove. I feel like they should include the max UPX price of a property for the passes. Yeah, you would say that. Wait, isn't there? So Mint Master is the number of properties, but there's 2 badges.
So you got the first minter. Yep. So the first 3 players that mint there get a badge for that. The highest
that would be
or the most properties mint to get a badge, and then the
you might have been the 3rd, Dizzy. I only know of 2. I know how many did you mint? Because there was 109 and 85. Those are the 2 players that I know of that have it. I missed the cut.
Oh.
Well, just be glad it wasn't your circumcision. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't even have time to get to the beeper on that one. All right.
You can thank me later for that one. Wisdom did. Wisdom with 109. Number 1 mint.
It was the first 3 hours, Dizzy. So if you didn't do it in the first 3 hours.
No, Dizzy likes to take his time. He's
But he got it in the London expansion.
Yeah.
He got a Mint Master badge.
He's gonna mint all night long. He's not trying to rush it in 3 hours. He's gonna take that. He's gonna wine and dine his city, just like he did to Manhattan. I'll never forget Manhattan, man. We all go to bed. We're like, oh, that was a fun day. All of a sudden, wake up, half of Manhattan's minted. Like, what?
Half of Harlem. He just like went through Harlem like it was nothing.
Dude got a fever like something I had never seen before. Started buying up Harlem like it was going out of style. Arguably one of the best power plays I've seen in the game.
It was even better than the episode where I was buying up the financial district. Like there were 16 properties left in Manhattan's financial district. I'm like, I'm buying them. And you're like, don't do it. I'm buying them. Bought another one. You're like, what are you doing? Stop. So, but yeah, that Dizzy buying Harlem was even better than that.
Oh yeah. That was pretty good because you went strongly again. I was like, that's dumb. They're not going to make another financial district one. Like, whatever. I think you had thrown back a couple that night too.
Maybe. That's what I do on this show. I throw back a couple and talk about Upland.
That's true. Vegas.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Vegas.
Oh,
God, right. I can't wait for Vegas this year already.
I know. And now let's get to the confusion. You're not confused. You got it all figured out.
No one is confused except for you.
Good. So now, with the 50% of the city was released, and that was about 32,500 properties. So all in all, there's going to be about 65,000 properties. Official send fees are going to be $15.75.30. Currently, it's $10.50.20. It's going to be a tier 3 treasure hunting, a tier 4 currently until more of the city's released. Now, I was questioning, you were talking about this is going to be a tier 3 city. It's a tier 3 treasure hunting city.
That means it's a tier 3 city. That's Those are the same thing. The treasure hunt tier is the tier of the city, full stop. There is no secondary tier. Like, it's very straightforward. Like, I don't even understand what the debate is. Now, you can
No,
say
say the city tier. This is treasure hunting tier. It's not talking about a city tier. This is just a treasure hunting
there
tier.
is no such thing as city tier as a single digit. There is a city tier breakdown, which is 133. So it's city tier breakdown of 1 for price, 3 for size, 3 for iconic importance. Like, that is, it's city tier, but that is not a single tier as in tier 1, tier 2. They're the same. The city, so it is a tier 3 city. So if you want to refer to it, you refer to it by its treasure hunt tier. If you want to be more specific, it's a 133 city, which means it's very expensive, very small, and not super iconic.
But Manhattan's
131.
No. 131. 131. It's a 131.
It's a 131. That's a big difference. That's a big, big difference because the middle number of size, like, you know, I mean, at least this is what you tell your wife. Size isn't that important, right? Like, anyway, the new treasure hunting rules jumped my Manhattan sense. Good. That's good. So
Cheese in the house.
Oh, Cheese in the house. What up, Cheese? That's what it was. I could tell the energy of the chat shifted. It's because more cheese. I was being good, but then I could just, the more cheese energy, I could just feel it. So, of course,
right.
Also, like my second Mountain Dew. That could be it too.
Right.
Yeah. I'm all jacked up a Mountain Dew.
So treasure hunting's all that matters now. Got it.
It's not all that matters. It's
That's what you said. It's all that matters.
That's
the city.
Fine. Yep, that is the city. If you want to talk about what tier a city is, you talk about what treasure hunt tier it is.
But the majority of players don't treasure hunt.
It doesn't matter. That's the baseline. That would be like saying, oh gosh.
There's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities. And then treasure hunting goes to 5.
No. There's the individual breakdown of the like properties of a city of 1, 3, which are 3 tiers in that is not the city tier. And also you're going to wind me up. And I know you're trying to wind me up. 133 equals tier 3. So 133, it's not in no world is Miami a tier 1. It's a tier 1 price point. So if you want to pay a lot for a tier 3, go to Miami. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that makes no sense then. Why would I overspend on something that's cheap?
Well, see, now you're equating value to tier, and that's on you. You should do a special YouTube tier 6 podcast to understand them more. Tier 1 or bust, sends or nothing. So that is interesting. Okay, so send fees. Let's look at send fees.
Before we get into that, this is the first tier 3, like legit official send city. It looks like, with the 1575.30 send fee.
Wait, so where is? Oh my gosh!
What? I threw all the information up for you.
It's definitive. I don't even have more things to throw.
I broke them. Broke them.
You literally just proved your own point that you send fees alone. If it was tier 1, it'd be 25, 50, 125. It's not.
The price is still high. It's small, just like Manhattan.
True.
But the icon factor is a 3.
Correct. Which makes it a tier 3 city.
Or it could be a 1, 2, 3. because a 133 is up to 10 collections. And if you look back here, they said it's going to be about 14 to 20. So as you look here, I highlighted wrong, and it could be a 133. Yeah, it could be a 113. So it's still a tier 1. I win.
It's not. No, it's you don't win. In no world is Miami tier 1. The send fees alone tell you what tier it is.
It's a 123.
It's a tier 3. On every level, it's a tier 3. You are literally the only person who can 182. You're just throwing gang numbers now. Like
305, baby. 305.
Rip the 513. Let's go. Also, I know there's some really interesting things about area codes, but I won't go into the nerdy number factor of like why New York, I think, is 212. But anyway, because back on the rotary phones, the lower your number was, which mean you'd have less like ways to go on the rotary. So when they added area codes, the bigger cities got the lower numbers, so it was less to actually do dials. Which is why like you have like New York, LA, Chicago have low. Anyway, that's really, if anybody wants to look that up, rotary, was that what you roast a chicken on? Yeah, it's actually very similar.
Yes, Boulder. Yes. So it's a 123. Actually, it's not a 133. It's a 123. So, but
it doesn't matter. It's a tier 3 city. Call it what you want. It's a tier 3 city. Doesn't matter. Because the send fees.
It's alone, a tier 3 treasure hunting city.
Fantastic. It's a tier 3 city. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. So also we should clarify, there's nothing wrong with being a tier 3 city. You can't all be tier 1s. And it's okay that it's an expensive tier 3 because I think that they balance it out with the size. So the fact is that it's one of the first that has a small size compared to like a Manhattan or a Rutherford, which we've both seen have insane secondary sales for essentially no reason. Well, actually not no reason. I shouldn't say that, because of treasure hunting and Manhattan being Manhattan. So from that perspective, again, not financial advice, there is potential upside because Miami will almost certainly sell out before LA, right? And even with an expansion, you're still sitting at sub 100,000 properties for all of Miami. So I do see there still being some potential upside as it sells out. We'll see how quick it sells out. They've pushed a lot with the sales contest and the cars. I don't know.
Like, are you legit, Boulder, or are you just trolling us?
I don't know if you're like, because you keep bringing up the rotisserie. Rotary phone, the payphones are you go.
It's got a dial. You put your finger in a number and you turn it, and then it rolls back and you put it in the next number. I mean, Boulder was born way after us, so he might.
True. He might legit not know. Go look up a rotary. Right. Old ass phone. Yeah, because we are old ass people. We are like 400 in YouTube years.
All right. So you have your opinions. I'm going to bring SC Kicker on and Shacklin on too to get their thoughts on it.
There's not opinions. It's just fact.
No, your opinions. It's your opinion.
I'll let these intelligent, beautiful people speak because obviously I know who they're going to side with, the person who's speaking truth.
This guy. What's up, Shaq? What's up, SC? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Man, Miami was expensive.
Facts.
Yeah, the waterfront especially. So I actually was teaching class when it opened up, and by the time I got on, there was like an hour and 15 minutes later, and the only stuff left on the water, man, I think the cheapest one was like $5.69 or something ridiculous. There were some that were like 1.7. It was nuts.
Yeah, I decided I don't like beach property after all.
So aren't you glad you bought overpriced properties in a tier 3 city?
So again, I don't think they're overpriced. I think that they are priced for what Upland wanted to price them at. So the question is,
for a tier 3 city, it's overpriced.
Definitely.
So here's something interesting. I pulled up some of the other city release announcements of the past so that I could compare them.
Yeah.
And for London, well, let's start with Los Angeles.
Do you want to share your screen? Or you just want to talk it? It's fine either way.
Sure. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, so we'll start at the top here, Miami. Okay, there's nothing here that says what the city tier is here up at the top.
Okay.
Just down lower, there's official treasure hunting tier and current tier. And the send fees. If you go and look at London, they actually published a city tier for London in addition to a treasure hunting tier for London.
Yep.
For Los Angeles, they didn't list a city tier, just a treasure hunting tier. But it seems like comparing the send fees. So we have send fees 25, 125, 50 for LA, 25, 125, 50 for London, 15, 75, 30 for Miami. And so to me, that does in fact mean that Miami is not a tier 1.
It's if you look on, hold on.
There we go. Logic prevails.
Well, hold on.
Tier 1.
Those other city releases were before they made the changes, though, weren't they?
But at a 113 at 1575.30 with an airport, 13 to 19 collections which they say with an average 20% FSA, a 113 is pretty solid for a 1.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not a 113 though.
It's a 113.
It's not a 113. It's not a
It was a
113.
133.
It's a 133.
No, because the collection, if you look, the collections.
No, but I think that's why they didn't. But
collections are going to be 14 to 20, 20% FSA with an airport.
Wait, but size? There's no way. So size, it's small. It's definitively small, and you know that.
So a 1, 2, 3, then 19 to 20, then it can
Small
fit in
is
the
3.
1, 2, 3.
It's a 1-3. It's a 1-3. It's small. It's not a mid.
It's a 1, 2, 3.
It's not
Well,
a 1-2. Under.
so here's a question. When they list city tier and they start with the 1, like was in your chart just now, doesn't anything that starts with the 1 mean that it's tier 1?
No.
What about that?
You need clarification from Upland. That's my
You don't
argument.
need clarification. Your chart literally tells you what it means. It's very simple.
That says 3.
1 means that it's priced high.
Right.
It's a high price per up square. So it's very pricey property. The second number indicates size. 1 being large, 2 being medium, 3 being small. Miami is a small city. It's sub 70,000 total properties. It's small. So that's a 3. And the third number being icon. How iconic is the city? And they rated it as a 3. Ergo, it's a 133. Now, here's the other thing is they could be not including that information because they might need to change it. They might realize that the collections, I'm cheap, big, and not iconic. Thanks, Dan. Wow. Jesus.
How do you know that's not a mid? How do you know Miami at 65,000 is not a mid?
1 was small. No, 3 is small. So it'd be 333. I'm a cheap, small. I'm a price. Oh, don't change you. Don't try and re-rate me, homie. I'm a 131. That's what I would be. Anyway, so I'm expensive, small, and iconic. Don't forget it. 131 rep. What were we talking about? You got me all swirled up.
I think we're all confused.
No, I just need clarification.
So here at the end of the day, none of it matters in the sense of the send fees will tell you what tier it is definitively. And at the end of the day, the only thing tier matters for is treasure hunting. Like that's it. So outside of treasure hunting, which treasure hunting and send fees go hand in hand. So I will agree that this is the first like high priced tier 3 we've seen. However, I will say, I think that the way that they balanced it out is by making it small number of properties in order to potentially have some secondary sales that aren't just everybody selling under mint.
So a tier 3 with a little bit of tier 1 spiced in there, along with some tier 5 properties. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like if Fresno and Manhattan had a baby in Alabama, it'd be Miami.
So here's the real question. What is more important to everybody in Upland, the treasure hunting tier, the city tier rating? Where's your
rating? Doesn't mean anything.
I think
treasure hunt's all
people are really focused on the treasure hunting tier, and that's why London sold off after they changed the tier. People were very upset, and because they were only there for treasure hunting.
Yep.
Yeah, I think treasure hunting too.
Yep.
I'd like to see the percentage of how many players treasure hunt.
It almost doesn't matter though. Like, because treasure hunting is so, you know how important your send fees are. Like, you've seen the numbers.
Yes.
So even if you don't treasure hunt, and we've also seen Russell Envy can show you don't need any properties to treasure hunt, but it's very important for the owners. Like, I want to own the most properties in the city that everybody's treasure hunting in, because that's going to drive the value of a city significantly. We've seen that with Rutherford. We've seen that with Santa Clara. Like, it's one of the first layer 2, but it's embedded games. Like, it's super, super important to the economy of those cities.
I heard something interesting from somebody that tracks this data, and I don't want to say who it was, but they said that while London sold off, that London had actually had a negative impact on many of the other cities. That many of the other cities were struggling because so much focus was in London, and that once London got its tier lowered, those other cities started their recoveries, which I don't know if it's true, but it's interesting.
I'll have to go back and double check.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you're focusing all your resources on London and you're pulling the value out of other economies to do so, it makes sense. Like, that would even be a more compelling case than people were abusing the treasure hunting, right? And we know historically, that is one of my like biggest reasons that I love Upland so much, is because I do believe at the end of the day, these are econ experts. They're not gaming experts. They've proven that time and time again. No offense to the leaders here. They're not gaming people. They're economy people. And so if their number crunching says, hey, we need to deflate London because it's sucking value out of the rest of the economy, and so this is the way to do that, like, kudos, well done. Like,
I don't think they were deflating London because it was sucking out of the economy. I think they realized that, having cities that are that small of a footprint that was released and making it its full treasure hunting tier was really unfair to the treasure hunters overall. Because if you're hunting in London with the 20,000 properties versus your other tier 1 treasure hunting, you have a lot smaller net that you can find, and it's a lot more profitable each and every day.
Yeah. I got DMs from people who said they were so upset about this tier change in London because they had gone there specifically because they can get so much more spark in London. So to me, that shows that there was in fact some sort of imbalance, and that really is why Upland made that change.
Cool. Oh, that's great insight. Thanks, Shaq.
So it's people that found the advantage, and the game caught up to the advantage and corrected it.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've talked about it. It's interesting. When you put it in that term like that, is this really the first like true nerf we've seen? Like, we've seen balances to treasure hunting and like maybe nerfing of treasure hunting, but that's really like modifying a layer 2 functionality. This is the first time that I guess it's still modifying a layer 2. Treasure hunting, if you view treasure hunting as kind of a layer built on top of Upland as the property game. But having the tier change really nerfed London then. And I think this is the first time that there's been a targeted nerf against a city. I'm trying to think if there's been anything else that would be equivalent to that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, they did take the standards off of the desktop, and which was a nerf for a lot of people, but there was a program out there that gave an unfair advantage to the people that knew about it and were able to use that. And it was compromising the treasure hunting there.
Facts.
Well, can I say one thing about treasure hunting?
Absolutely.
I'm really excited because when they made the changes and people were saying that, oh, the arrows, now there's not arrows and, whatever that was. I thought that it was so bad that it completely scared me away from treasure hunting. But I decided to try it for the first time after all these months. I didn't notice anything different about it. Nothing. I believe people. I mean, I'm sure they changed something, but it's the same. It's the same thing. You can still be successful quickly. I don't know what people were complaining about. I really don't know. It's not that bad. So if you're
I didn't think the arrows were that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a difference, really. No, switching to mobile, that was a big difference.
I just find it amazing how many people don't want to go mobile versus like they love their desktop. Like I'm so much slower on desktop than I am going mobile.
Me too.
Right. Mobile's so slow. If you're on a pad where it's bigger, it's not bad, but the mobile screens are just so small.
What are you playing on, an iPod mini? Come on now.
I usually treasure hunt on my iPad Pro, but you switch over to the iPhone 15 and the thing's tiny compared to it.
All right there. Hashtag flex. Well, when I can't drive the Ferrari and I got to take this old beater Benz around,
So if we got a Chokes for Charity started back up yet?
We might think about it.
Yeah. All right. No, I mean, it's fascinating. And I'm with you. Like the nerfs of treasure hunting, unless you were like a diehard treasure hunter, I don't think there was like most of it. Wisdom, did you get top tier? Were you buying? Did you mint mobile only? Did you get your minter badge mobile only? And it makes your posture worse to use a mobile device than a computer. All right, Gollum. You can sit straight either, for the record. You can stand, you can walk and use your mobile phone. So I don't want to hear that. Down low. But also you're not wrong.
All right. So in the end, the only thing that matters for a city tier is the treasure hunting status. Got it.
Fine. You know what? If that's what you want to boil it down to, then yes.
That's what you said.
I'm saying that the treasure hunt tier is the city tier.
Got it. That's what I said. I said, got it.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned
agree.
Web. Mobile web or PC web? Because then I'll know. Because maybe I'll need to. Anyway, how do we revamp dead cities? Layer 2.
Find friends.
Yeah. Layer 2 nodes. That's really the only chance. It's kind of like dead servers on an RPG game. Like you're gonna have to start a guild. You're gonna have to go there because you can do it cheap, because you can do it quietly, and you're gonna have to create your own environment there. And especially if they keep jacking up prices, which I hope they do, because you know what, Fresno ain't looking so bad now, y'all. Tier 3 rep. Where are you buying? I'm going to go buy 40,000 up square in Fresno for what you can buy 5 up square in Miami. So get it.
There you go. All right. SC Giger, Shaq, thanks for joining us.
Thank
me later.
Bye.
You have anything before we get out of here for the week?
No, not this week. I think all good. If you're in the Fort Worth area, go check out Anime Frontier this weekend. Look for me. I'll be in various cosplays. This is just one of 4 looks that have been curated for me. So yeah, maybe next week I'll come in a different one.
There you go. Yeah, and we'll work on those scripts and we'll uplandify them.
Uplandify for Gladiator coming up, and we got Beavis and Butthead and Dumb and Dumber in the lineup.
There we go. Awesome. Everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you out there in the metaverse. Till next week.
The Upex Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host too stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland property experts, baby.